So first off, what's good? It's your boy DopeSomething. Welcome back to the channel. So before we get too far in this video, I just want to let y'all know this is going to be a rant slash addressing, holding accountable, however you want to put it. We're going to be talking about Marvel Rivals. And I mean from the nerfs that they're doing, to the buffs, to the competitive scene, to the support strike. We talking about the whole 9 yards of Marvel Rivals and the issue with this game and why I see it failing sometime soon. And like I said, we'll get more into detail what I mean by that. But Marvel Rivals is slowly killing itself. Now, first thing, let's talk about the main issues in this game, as in the nerfs, the points, the competitive scene. That's cool with y'all? Let's start with that. So first of all, let's talk about the nerfs. Now, as y'all know, the supports are on strike, and they're nerfing a whole lot of people, getting a little buffs, so on and so forth. So as of this day, as the update that came out on the 25th of this month when this is uploaded. Alright, so as of April 25th, 2025, that's when this update drops. If you want the extensive list of what's going on as far as who's getting nerfed, etc., go ahead and check out the patch notes. I'm going to do a rough overlaps for it, and then we're going to get into the competitive and basically what's going on. So, as y'all know, they're buffing strategists. Now, they're buffing Cloak, Luna Snow, Adam Warlock. They're also buffing, I think Mance is getting a buff too. Warlock, if he gets headshots, it reduces the cooldown for his primary heal. They're buffing the damage of Luna Snow and Cloak in both forms. They are also buffing Doctor Strange's explosion, needing less of a cooldown to activate, so he's going to be able to explode more often. They are nerfing Captain America's health by 50. They're nerfing Spider-Man's uppercut by 4 meters. So he can hit, less. He has to be closer to hit. Now that is quickly overran, let's talk about it to the competitive sense. Now, me, I'm a competitive player. I play this game for fun, yes, but I have fun in a competitive sense. Does that make sense? I'll play quick play and I'll try out new characters, and that's all well and handy, but I have the most fun under pressure, being challenged, and in the competitive sense, playing with other like-minded players. Now, the devs have already made it clear they could care less about competitive. That's not what they care about this game. This game is meant to just be fun. The competitive is literally just there because every game has it. They basically made it a point to say that. Now, when it comes to balance changes and correcting and all that, this season has been terrible. Okay? In a competitive sense, it's been terrible. They've been buffing and nerfing characters that never needed it. They made Iron Fist completely broken to the point where this man is an unstoppable killing machine. He is the dive supreme as we speak. They buffed Captain America's damage, gave him more survivability. Don't know why they did that, but hey, they did it. As well as they nerfed characters that never needed it. They nerfed Strange basically to the point where he's usable, but he's nowhere as good as any of the other tanks. Okay? They also, with Namor's squid combo with his Gamma, I think it's worse than a slow he had, but it's extremely annoying and anti-dive heavy. But that's nor here or there. We're not really here to talk about that aspect of it too much. Let's talk about the competitive sense and what they did to it. Now, they implemented performer-based system, which sounds good on paper. If you do better, you'll get more points towards competitive, right? More rank points, etc. If you do worse, you'll lose more points. If you're the reason your team is losing, then you deserve to not get rewarded, etc., or get punished a little bit more heavy, right? It all sounds perfectly fine. Now, here is the problem with the performance-based stat system. I don't know the technicals of it. I don't exactly know how it works. I just know that it rewards players based on their KDA. Now, if you're a DPS, final blows, you're a lot more likely to get those, and they're graded way higher. Final blows and kills. Okay, there is a difference between final blows and the kill participation, which is like the big number of the kills it says. At the end of the game, it say this is how many final blows you had, which is technically how many confirmed kills you had. So confirms are graded higher than just kill participation kills. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Strategists, as y'all know, they're on strike, the support strike, or whatever they want to call it, the strategist strike, because the game has openly made it clear that if you're a strategist, you're getting rewarded way less. I mean, you're getting less points. You're losing more points because your KDA doesn't match. It basically looks like you're basically padding your stats. Because if you're a strategist, you're not going to have the highest damage. You're not going to have the best KDA. You're not going to have the most final blows. None of that really factors. You should have a lot of healing, right? And you shouldn't have a lot of deaths theoretically. But if you do happen to have, let's say you have 3 kills and 5 deaths, the game will recognize that you're doing terrible. And when I say it smacks you in the face for it, it smacks you heavy. I've been a strategist and lost 24 points. Okay?
Earlier.
24, 25. One time I lost 27 points for a loss. And I was actually the second best on my team. Crazy. Now, on the flip side, I've been a strategist, and the most points I think I've ever gotten a strategist is what, 27, and that was one time, and that was my rank up game. I'll show y'all at the end. You know, I'll put all the rank ups and stuff towards it. But on average, as a strategist, you gain between 17 and 21 points. DPSers are gaining on average between 21 up to 26 points. I don't know how much tanks are really getting. I'm not really a tank player. I think I already made that clear. I'm more of a flex. I'm DPS and or strategist. Don't really play tank like that unless I have to. So I can't really speak for that aspect too much. But the ratio is out of whack, right? And the simple version of this, that you're basically deterring strategists. As y'all know, in this game, you need a strategist. Preferably 2, but you at least need 1. Now I've won a game on full DPSs before. I'm not gonna lie, it was a fight for health packs, but I've won before. But again, this game isn't meant to be played like that. Everybody can agree. I don't care what your favorite top streamer says, what your favorite person says. You don't need strategy. It's the easiest role, whatever. You need these characters. You need somebody to play them, and the deterring people who main these classes or roles, however you want to put it, to no longer want to play these roles because you're getting rewarded less. Which in turn, let me put it in perspective like this. As a DPS, I may need only 4 or 5 games to rank up. As a strategist, you might need 6 or 7.
We're gonna have to try to play up.
It's a big difference when you look at it like that. As well as the more corrections and nerfs they're doing to a lot of these characters are switching the meta around heavily. Right now, we're in a dive heavy meta. Okay? Now, they added a whole lot of anti-dives, like Emma, for example. She's the best tank in the game when it comes to anti-dive, the Thing, Namor's Gamma, you know, stuff like that. But they also buff people like Iron Man and people who are basically free. The Torch, for example. The Torch is in a broken state to a max right now. They buffed him so much that this boy, he can one-shot Luna Snow, Cloak and Dagger. He can one-shot people in their ults. Crazy. Okay? You know, it is what it is. But the main issue, I know I'm kind of dancing around a lot. I do kind of got a lot more time to kill. I got a whole another 8 more minutes I need to kill as far as talking-wise. But the main issue I have with competitive sense, like I said, I already addressed the issue of rank system, the point distribution, the buffs, the nerfs. You know, they really are like out of line a lot on this season. Is if you're gonna have a competitive mode, okay, I feel like it's fair to say that games that include this competitive mode, competitive should be competitive. True or false? Competitive is for the people who want to win. That is literally what this game mode is for. It is for people who want to rank up, win, and be challenged. If you keep sabotaging this system of players, now I understand the majority of the player base is quick play. I understand that. Like, I think like 80% or something like that, 70 to 80%, something like that, is quick play heavy. Understandable. But the worst they're doing at rank, Marvel Rivals, in a sense, is getting a very bad rep because the streamers are, in a sense, they're kind of ruining it. And I'm not just saying strictly streamers, but let's be honest, the streamers have the biggest pull. when it comes to games like this, they did the same thing to Overwatch. I wasn't really a fan of Overwatch, but Apex.
Well, yeah, they only really did respond to
I
Apex,
think
but yeah,
Valorant
it
is in a
should
good
be like
state.
a
I really
little
don't know. I
limitation
don't play
and stuff
Valorant either.
later.
But in the sense of this, they're letting the streamers dictate the way the game is going. It's starting to destroy it. Necros was the main one that complained about strategists being the easiest role, and they got alt too much, so on and so forth. In turn, what did they do? They nerfed strategy to the ground. They reduced the alt, which I think was was a good chance because you were running to the problem with triple supports and all that. That meta being heavy around. But now they're in a state where they're just spitting on people. Like they're just spitting at this
And a
point.
storm.
Like making it clear that they could care less about competitive. Which, take it how you will. If you're not a competitive player, you could care less. Because again, they're tweaking the game overall in all sense of making the game quote unquote more fun. And there was a saying that they
Good thing about
used when they
PvP is it's
said,
lagging
if
and it's
everybody is
glitching.
broken, no one's really broken. Right? The game is fun if everybody's broken, no one's really overpowered or broken. Which was fine when they did
He
that
backed
system.
up.
But now they're starting to tweak it where the broken characters are remaining broken, but they're toning down the rest of the characters. So in a sense, they're making a meta, a one-sided meta, as in the characters you play as. It's only a couple comps in rank that reliably you can play. It's characters that you should never see get touched in rank. Those characters are Mantis, for an example, is not very viable in rank. She's one of the worst healers, unless you have very good aim, which even then she still slacks. DPS wise, you got people like Black Widow. If you can't really, constantly hit your headshots with Black Widow and stuff, you're not gonna see her around like that. You only see really Namor when he's paired up with somebody. Tank wise, Penny. Now Penny can be very good at holding a choke point, but overall, she's not a very good tank. She's not. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. She's not a good tank. If you can break her trap, she's like Namor. If you can break the traps, her whole little shtick is gone. When you got people like Emma that can completely lock you down and anti-dive you, etc. Magneto, who can one-shot and kill support ults, provide shield, versatility. You got even people like Thor. Thor is like an off tank, but even him, he's a DPS tank. He can lock it down way better than certain characters ever could. To wrap it all up though, with the icing on the cake, because we only got like 4 more videos left in this little section anyway. Marvel Rivals is not on a good track when it comes to competitive sense. It comes to it listening to its player base, etc. It seems like it takes the whole community to complain about something and for people to start leaving the game before they actually start recognizing and fixing the problems. Now, I will say this. Marvel Rival has done a phenomenal job. Has done a phenomenal. Come on, brain and tongue, work together. Marvel Rivals has done a phenomenal job in creating a game that is fresh and fun. Like all the way down to like the effects, the KO, the commentary. The game is extremely fun to play. I will give them that. I just need them to be a little bit more, I'm trying to think the word for it. A little bit more open-minded to not completely shutting off one side of the community, because they are both game modes are in the game. You have your competitive and you have your quick play. So if they just listen to that and actually listen to both sides of the community, I feel like we might be alright. It's not the death of Marvel, but they're gonna end up doing what Apex did once upon a time, and that's doing what they want to do, not listening to their player base, and killing their own game. Let's be honest, the honeymoon phase for Marvel Rivals is gone. It's over. Like the game is done with. So all that's keeping us here now is of how fun it is, because as of now, there really aren't any hero shooters or anything like heavy in the market to compete with Marvel Rivals. But that will change as the year goes on. There are some heavy hitters, that are going to be dropping to contest the player base of Marvel Rivals, so to speak. But I said my spiel. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all think Marvel Rivals is going to make it? Y'all think they might actually learn from the past lessons, so on and so forth? You know, just whatever. Let me know what y'all think. But it's been your boy Dope Some. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Dope is back again. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch y'all in whatever the next video is that I make. Oh, before I get up out of here, this last little section was literally just to show y'all the point game to me hitting Grandmaster this season. As y'all seen with the previous game, I did hit Grandmaster 2. I ended up playing Grandmaster 2 and ended up, I think, going all the way back down to GM3. So I hit my peak this season, and I will not be continuing the grind. I'm done until they reset my rank and I have to redo it all over again. But yeah, I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day and or night. Peace.